All right, we got football tonight, national title game. Ryan Clark, he's got a busy week coming up. You got to talk football, and then you got to talk about college football. His son is playing tonight in the national title game. He's also got NFL Live duties as well. How nervous are you?
Oh, I'm freaking wrecked. It's kind of it is, we got opportunity to play two Super Bowls as a family, but these last few weeks have been absolutely amazing to, see your son sort of live a dream, see your son make a decision that was tough on him in the offseason. He wanted to stay at ASU. He felt like that's where his loyalty should be. I can be honest, as parents, we thought it was best for him to leave, and we had those conversations. And when he kind of finally acquiesced to what we wanted and started to take trips when he chose Notre Dame, I was elated. It was my dream school. But in week two, when they lose to NIU, and then as the season goes along and Arizona State's playing extremely well, you're like, holy hell, did we make a mistake? Did we push him into something that's not going to be positive for him? So for him to be in this moment, having beaten Georgia, having beaten Penn State, and now an opportunity, in my opinion, to play the most talented team in college football, but certainly the most talented group of wide receivers, knowing the way that they're going to play. I think it's just been an amazing year, an amazing opportunity for him to show who he is. But as a team and Marcus Freeman and what that school has been, the tradition in which Notre Dame plays with each and every week, it has really been one of the best experiences of my athletic career. But to see him do it, I mean, as a parent, there's nothing better.
More likely to talk to him more today or less likely to talk to him today?
No, we don't change anything, DP. Like that's the cool part about having been through it as a father and my wife having been through it as a wife and now going through it as a mother, like we understand what happens. He kind of dictates how much we talk, how much we see him on game weekends. And the one thing for him, he's like, Pop, I don't want to change a lot because it's the championship. And so we got an opportunity to visit with him last night. Thousands of parents and families and friends were there also with their loved ones from the team. And he honestly stayed and talked to us longer than he normally does. So he got to see some family members he hadn't seen in a while. But today, he said he's going to wake up with no clock. He'll go to walkthrough. He'll take a nap, study film, and then he'll be ready to go. We have a ritual, and this will be the last time we do it. I always wait in the same exact spot for him before every game. And it started last year where I just write him a little note. I thought last year would be his last, but he ended up getting injured and coming back. And so this will be the last time I get to do it. I'll do it from the field because it's obviously an ESPN game. But for me, it's like it's the best part of the day. I get to hug him. I get to tell him I love him. I get to hand him over a few words he gets to read before every game. And this will be our last time doing it in college ball.
Gonna have a lot of emotions there.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Oh, you
I
are?
didn't
Okay.
cry. Yeah, I didn't. Dan, like as a player, like honestly, when we won the Super Bowl, I didn't cry. When we lost the Super Bowl, I didn't cry. I've cried more in these last 3 weeks than I like to admit, which I am admitting to you now publicly. But I think that it just shows you how much it matters, how much different it is.
But your son's going against some pretty good wide receivers. I
Yeah.
would think you've had conversations on, Dad, what do you see?
No, not really. It's been a cool evolution of his playing career. We were driving in the eighth grade. I forget where we were going, and he turns to me and he's like, "Pop, I'd love to play a college sport." And at the time, he loved basketball too. I was like, "Well, son, it ain't gonna be basketball. I've seen you do that. I was like, you can play that to have fun." And I said, "And it's gonna have to be a defensive back." And he's like, "Well, why? I play wide receiver too." I was like, I've been around those guys and I've watched them catch footballs. It's like it's just different. I said, but I can help you be a defensive back. And he broke his ankle probably 6 months later playing basketball. And so we kind of had to rehab him back from that, get him prepared for his sophomore year. He went to a really competitive high school. And I mean, man, we've slept in some of the worst hotels to go to some of these football camps. We have been on planes, we've driven, and it was just that journey. And so every high school game in sophomore year, I'd grade the film, I'd grade every play, and we'd watch it together. And then the next year, I'd grade every play, and he'd watch it by himself. And so it's kind of evolved Whereas to now, like he's his own man when it comes to football. If he asks me a question, I'll answer it. But a lot of times he's telling me what he sees. He's telling me what he has to do. He's telling me how Al wants them to play. And I think it's just the coolest thing in the world.